Fox News host Sean Hannity is on the warpath against a candidate named Kathy Barnette. So now I've never heard of Kathy Barnette. She is apparently a Republican primary candidate running in Pennsylvania. So now Pat Toomey is giving up his seat. He's retiring. And so in the race to replace him, you have Dr. Oz and a hedge funder named David McCormick. So now the race was just those two for a minute. And then here comes Kathy Barnette. Interesting. So now Oz has the endorsements of both Sean Hannity and former President Donald Trump. But again, here comes Barnett that has surged in recent weeks in the polls. So now, look, Hannity's been honest about who he backs. He's like, yeah, I endorse Dr. Oz. Donald Trump endorsed Dr. Oz. That's my guy. So it's not a surprise that he's going to go after Dr. Oz's opponent. But what's surprising me is how? Take a look.
Recently, another GOP candidate has drawn a lot of late attention after only in the last week to 10 days rising in the polls seemingly out of nowhere. She hadn't been vetted up to this point. Kathy Barnette is now facing a massive and evolving scandal over her past beliefs, her past comments, her past tweets, and her actions and inconsistencies that she seems unwilling to answer. We tried to call her, contact her team, and we can't make contact at this point. Look at your screen. Here is Barnett marching alongside, this just broke today, radical Proud Boys during January 6th. She claimed she had no idea who they were and that she didn't breach the Capitol. And look at this. On Twitter, Barnett frequently spewed, I mean, not just once, not one day, not occasionally, spewed quite a bit of hateful rhetoric against gay people, people that are Muslims. She even once asked her followers to pray for her because she was about to board the plane to California and there was a homosexual female on the flight. All right. And she also insinuated Obama was a gay Muslim. This will all come up in a general election. She called for Islam to be banned in the United States. Kathy, we have something called freedom of religion in this country. What part of that are you not understanding? When asked about these incendiary remarks and other issues, Kathy Barnette doesn't ever really seem to have an answer.
Whoa! Sean Hannity! What is going on? Oh, wait. All right. Again, bizarre. Since when did attacking Muslims and marching with Proud Boys on January 6th become a bad thing when it comes to Republicans? I thought they loved that stuff. I mean, come on. But you know what's funny is that this might ironically help her with the Republican base. Because again, they all love that stuff. You might have just added points to her polling. But now look, let's get into why he's so suddenly concerned about Barnett. On May 12th, Donald Trump, who also, as I mentioned, endorsed Dr. Oz, said this: Barnett will never be able to win the general election against the radical left Democrats. She has many things in her past which have not been properly explained or vetted. Now, again, this is weird because you would think that Barnett would be the ideal candidate for Trump. Again, she identifies herself as America First. Okay, supports Trump's agenda, and again, has said things that are actually in line or even tamer than some of the stuff that Donald Trump has said about Muslims. It's so weird. Now, in response to Trump's statement, Barnett responded. She said, sounds like the president knows what's going to happen on next Tuesday. We now have an opportunity where the people are making their voices heard on what kind of leadership they want. And they don't want to be spoon-fed globalists, as many influencers within the Republican Party are trying to sell us. They want a real conservative. Interesting. So now, look, my analysis on this. For one, as some of you point out, she's black. That's definitely a point against her. At least when it comes to Trump and Hannity. That said, Hannity might also, when you look at the race, think he's afraid that the base is going to be split between her and Dr. Oz and cause him to lose to the hedge fund guy. That hedge fund guy, McCormick, is going to get crushed by Fetterman. Fetterman is polling really, really well. He's running as a left populist. He has actually a pretty good chance of winning, in my opinion. Now, what might help Barnett, however, is that she claims to be against trading individual stocks while in office. So she claims to be against corruption, right? I don't think that's true. But again, I don't know. But if it's one thing the Republican base doesn't like, and I got to give them credit for that, is they say, well, we don't like corruption. They're just wrong about who's doing it. Again, both the Republican and Democratic Party bathe in corruption. Washington bathes in corruption. They only think the Democrats are the ones that are doing it. Ridiculous, right? But look, there's other stuff that they love about her too. Hating gay people, obviously. Forced birth, they love that. In fact, in a 2010 essay published online by the Canada Free Press, she argued that the gay rights movement sought domination and should be thwarted. Quote, make no mistake about it, homosexuality is a targeted group in the Bible, right along with cheats, drunkards, liars, foul-mouthed extortionists, robbers, and any other habitual sin. Uh-oh. Look, if it's one thing that Hannity and Trump do enjoy, it is the corruption. Trump loves to rob the people. And again, corruption isn't a one-sided thing. No, everyone engages in it. Again, you look at the Stock Act, for example. Nancy Pelosi, Kelly Loeffler, Mark Kelly, again, a mix of Democrats and Republicans. Nearly 60 of them all have violated the Stock Act. And so, look, it's the corruption, right? That said, another thing here that's pretty interesting is Hannity's true thoughts about January 6th. So now, look, we know what Hannity has said publicly, but we also know privately from his text to Mark Meadows. During the riots, Hannity had begged Mark Meadows to tell Trump to call off the mob. He said, can he make a statement, ask people to leave the Capitol, ask people to peacefully leave the Capitol after, and by the way, there were numerous messages leading up to January 6th, them saying, hey, I don't like where this is heading. I don't know where this is heading. I don't like it. Make sure that this is a peaceful event. And on January 10th, Hannity said he was not sure what is left to do or say to stop Trump from talking about the election. Guys, we have to clear a path to land the plane in 9 days. Hannity wrote to Meadows, as well as Jim Jordan. He can't mention the election again, ever. I did not have a good call with him today, and worse, I'm not sure what is left to do or say, and I don't like not knowing if it's truly understood ideas. So, again, that's how he felt about January 6th. In private, he was mortified. Hannity is basically, I don't agree with a damn thing that, he believes in. But I do think that he is a true believer in the right wing. Take that for what you will, right? But he was very horrified. But then he also knows that publicly, I had to downplay it. I got to downplay it because guess what? Those are my people. That's my base. And I've got to do a little cover for them. And so now, that said, he hitched himself to Dr. Oz. And of course, in so doing that, slamming Barnett makes sense. She was there. She literally bragged about it. She said, as a law-abiding American citizen, I had every right to go to a rally in support of my president. That is what I was doing there. We had a wonderful time. We prayed. We listened to what the president had to say. We hung out. We walked and sang songs. And then we got on our bus and left and came back home. Again, she was marching with the Proud Boys. When asked about that, she said, oh, I didn't have any idea who they were. I didn't know they were Proud Boys. I just don't know. The media is smearing my name and sowing the seeds of disinformation in order to suppress my vote and steal this election from me. Well, suppressing the vote from a black woman, well, that's kind of what Republicans do. You didn't know that? No. But again, I think the main takeaway here is they're afraid that she's going to split the vote, that she's going to be a spoiler and allow Democrat to take it off, to win in a general election. That's what it is. This is why Hannity, a day out from the election, is suddenly like, oh, turns out she hadn't been vetted. Oh, look, she's a black woman that, yes, she hates Muslims. Oh, because we care so much about Muslims here on the right wing. Really? Again, I have a feeling that this entire thing could help her more than it hurts her. Because even Sean Hannity might have underestimated just how hateful and horrible members of the Republican Party are. And I'm talking about the base. So, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. I never thought leopards would eat my face. Housewoman who voted for the leopards eating people's faces party. True. She identifies herself as a white supremacist Karen. It doesn't matter how she identifies. The Republicans are going to still see a black woman.